this episode of Down to Earth, a drowning planet. But what if we take advantage of the threat? In the Netherlands, living on water has been a matter of survival for centuries.
If there's a flood, then the whole city, all the houses go up and down. So safe, flexible and pace.
Today's coastal cities are desperately seeking solutions to keep the water at bay. Perhaps there's no better place than the Netherlands for a lesson on how to manage water levels. For centuries, the kingdom has been battling with its low-lying topography. Here in Amsterdam, 2/3 of the city is below sea level, but its residents are treating it as more of an asset rather than a threat. The Netherlands has long reclaimed land from the sea, but only recently did it start building entire communities on water, where each individual house is floating.
This is really Dutch, eh? Having all the bicycles just in front of the houses. A water street, huh?
This water street in the neighbourhood of Ijsberg is home to some of Koen Altage's designs, an urban architect who's obsessed with building on water.
The only reason to build on water is because you find space in the city on water and not on land. It's flexible, so if anything changes on water, we can reshape it. And it's safe, because if there's a flood, then the whole city, all the houses go up and down. So safe, flexible and pace.
Here, for €200,000, people buy the plot of ground below the water with the right to build on top.
If you think of that, then all the cities in the world, they have that much water. And if they can sell the water to developers, yeah, that will be a complete new industry. That's what's happening.
The world's first firm dedicated 100% to floating architecture is headed by Koen Altage. And here houses are just the beginning. Next step, floating stadiums, harbours, islands, and eventually entire cities.
But we go to floating foundations. Foundations of 20 by 50 meters, which exist of concrete structure, and we have foam in the middle. So, and then we put a concrete layer on top of it, and now you can make all kinds of houses. You can take big trees on top of it, roads, so you get a big island, and these islands together can make a complete city.
5 projects have been commissioned in the Maldives, including a private island.
Underneath here you can just swim. It's scarless islands. If you put this on the location and you take it away after 100 years, there's no scar. Of course, this is for the rich, and now we use the same technology for the people in the slums.
They're known as city apps. These floating containers have multiple functions, run by solar panels installed on top.
This one is for Manila in the Philippines. As you know, there's been a lot of floods in the Philippines. And what we do here, here's the first one. So this is just an internet school. There are half of the slums worldwide are one way or another connected to the water. It can be canals, it can be rivers, it can be seas. So if there's a little bit of water and a little bit of threat, then those are locations where we want to bring our floating city apps.
These mobile spaces can be used for food, shelter or sanitation, particularly in an emergency. But with 71% of the planet covered in water, colonising the ocean could be a solution for the long term.